Today we're going to build a teepee with the tarp. We're going to use one of these things. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft. Today is all about freestanding shelters with a 10x10 tarp. I am super pumped about this one, super fun. People ask all the time how to set up a tarp so they have full coverage. Like, can they make it into a tent and not an A-frame that they have open ends? And yes, you definitely can. And this one actually has a door that closes, so you're totally concealed inside. 360 degrees of coverage. It's pretty sweet. So let's just get right into it. Now I am doing this in the woods. Ideally you can tie up to trees, but again, freestanding shelter in our case, so pretend there's no trees around. You're gonna lay your tarp totally flat on the ground and then take one side. Again, this is a true 10x10, so we're gonna take one side of that, and I put tent pegs in the two corners, and this is a very important one. You need a tent peg in this center section right here, okay? Now, I'm gonna take another tent peg at this time, and if I'm standing like here, right, and I'm looking at that back tent peg that I said is extremely important, I'm gonna take this right front corner right here, and I'm going to bring that it is even with that back tent peg. Now what I want to do though, when I'm doing that, is I want to make sure that between the corner and the center one is tight, okay? So we have a tight, we're creating this triangle, and I'm going to bring this over here and stake out this front, okay? Now, once that's done, I am going to utilize this center tie out here, so I'm going to go ahead and stake that out. All right, now you have a few minutes, you gotta go find a stick. So what you're gonna need if you're utilizing a 10x10 tarp is a 5-foot long stick. Now, ideally, you don't want a sharp stick because it'll blow through your tarp, so you need to really be careful with this. I would highly recommend rounding off the top of your stick. And then in my case, I took my wool sock. In your case, take your happy sock and you just put it over the top, tie it on. This is gonna provide padding so you don't blow out your tarp, okay? Now, we're gonna take our stick and add it into the tarp. With your stick that is protected, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna lift up your tarp and you're gonna work this underneath into the center, okay? All right, now that we're there, I'm gonna take yet another tent peg, okay? You can see this is tent peg heavy. I'm gonna find the center loop on this side of the tarp, okay? And I am going to pull this. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a triangle here, okay? So I'm gonna go from this tent peg in the back to that tent peg in the front. I wanna make a straight line, close this in, just like that. Now, at this point, we're close to done. All right, a couple things you can do here. If you need this to get your gear in, what we can do is just open it up just like that, really easy. Load it up with your gear. Once all your gear is in, now what you're gonna do is you are going to take the last corner that is not staked down and you are gonna bring that out to the front tent peg and place it over it, okay? Now you have this little trap door here that you can go in, and then that just flips over when you're on the inside. That gives you total enclosure, protection from the elements, and it's freestanding. You can see the shelter here now is all staked out, nice and taut all the way around here. So as we go, okay, that's what we're looking for. And then we get on the inside via the flap that is right there. I'm going to open that up and show you what it's like. Okay, so inside the shelter, lots of room. I'm in here, of course. Lots of head height. Again, I'm a taller guy, and I still have lots of room up above me, so it works out really well. Now, one thing you might be wondering, so we do have some gaps down on the bottom. That's going to be normal for something like this. So one of two things. You can either keep the gaps for airflow, or two, go to the outside and just pack leaves up against it. That's going to block everything out. And I can tell you already, I mean, it is summer here, but it warms up super quick in here. So definitely a viable option for super, super bad weather. So there you go. That is a freestanding teepee shelter with just a square tarp. Very cool, super easy. Really, it's just that one pole and a bunch of tent pegs. If you have that stuff in your tarp, you're good to go. So, like I said, I get asked this all the time, how to actually set up an enclosed shelter, and this is it. You do need a big tarp for this, but once it's up, super nice, super easy, super fun. So there you go, another fun shelter video in the books. Check mark. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, hit the like button below. Also subscribe if you like these kinds of videos. You can also check us out over coalcrackerbushcraft.com, Facebook Coalcracker Bushcraft, Instagram Coalcracker Bushcraft. Just Google Coalcracker Bushcraft, all kind of good stuff will come up. And yeah, I guess that's it. So build this shelter and stay in the woods.